Onomene Adini didn't recognize the voice at the end of the phone, but he said he knew her from her church in Nigeria's Lagos, so she agreed to help get a package to their pastor. But when she arrived, 3 trucks pulled up filled with armed police who demanded she take them to her brother.
I've been numb, especially since it happened in my presence, and for the fact that they used me as a bait. I'm just trying not to beat myself,
Police detained 27-year-old Enromosele Adini that morning, one of the hundreds seized since taking part in nationwide protests in early October. Onomene says her brother has not committed any crime. Police accuse him of criminal incitement, cyber-stalking and provoking a breach of public peace. Roughly 2 weeks of demonstrations against the controversial police special anti-robbery squad drew thousands onto the streets, prompting the government to disband the unit. But interviews with activists, lawyers and human rights advocates depict a pattern of intimidation in the aftermath that some observers have likened to the violent repression and state surveillance during the country's decades of military rule. Nigeria's central bank says it has frozen assets of 20 people involved in the demonstrations. A court filing says the freezes occurred while the bank investigated whether there were links to terrorist financing. Adeomi Enoruwa, who helped crowdfund journalists investigating police violence, says the account of his PR company was frozen.
We are very clear that we're on the verge of authoritarian rule and anything can happen, and that gives us a cause for concern. We are very afraid.
7 activists interviewed by Reuters reported receiving threatening messages or phone calls. 4 said they were in hiding, while 2 having left the country. The presidential spokesman referred questions to the military and the police. An army spokesman dismissed activists' fears that they were being investigated, tracked, or blocked from leaving the country as fake news. A spokesman for Nigeria's federal police did not return requests for comment.